Good evening, junior researchers, and welcome to your next assignment. I am Dr. Jem, and I will be your guide into learning the SCPs at your assigned site location. You already know the do's and don'ts of site protocol, and what the item classifications mean, as well as certain other terminologies. As such, it is time to put your knowledge to the test, and to examine one of the many SCPs that will be under your care under the employment of the Foundation. Now, without any further ado, let us begin. Item number SCP-2422. Object Class: Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. The 4 members of SCP-2422 are to be housed together in a modified set of 9 standard humanoid containment cells, which are to be made to connect to each other through open doorways. These rooms are to be furnished within reasonable limits to the tastes of the members of SCP-2422 as a simulation of a full-sized home and small walled-in backyard, including one approved charcoal grill. All cellular network and internet communications are to be jammed within these 9 cells. SCP-2422-A and -B are to be provided with standard textbooks pre-approved by the Foundation Director in any available requested school subjects in order to homeschool 2422-C and -D. -B is, within reason, to be provided with whatever standard food items is requested, as it seems to prepare meals for the group. With the authorization of -B, -C may also make requests for certain foods, as it seems to maintain a vegan diet. All members of 2422 are to be closely monitored through live video feed for any communication with the outside world. If any of them are observed communicating with any entity outside of the Foundation, all of them are to be terminated, due to the fact that the entity the members of 2422 refer to as Wandering Father may pose a security threat. Prayers to Wandering Father are not to be considered actual communication with this entity. Description: SCP-2422 is a group of 4 humanoids, designated SCP-2422-A through D, who claim to be directly related to each other. All members have thus far been cooperative with Foundation personnel, and have shown a generally amicable demeanor towards all staff they have met. Notably, 2422 voluntarily surrendered themselves to Foundation custody. See Acquisition Log 2422-1. SCP-2422-A is a balding man around 55 years of age. It identifies itself as the father of the family. Note, it does not claim to be the Wandering Father. 2422-B is a woman in her early 40s, and has stated that it is the mother. -C appears to be a teenage girl and claims to be 16 years of age. It is considered to be the daughter. -D, which is believed to be the son, seems to be a prepubescent boy. It has exhibited behaviors aligning with mild to moderate low-functioning autism spectrum disorder. It is believed to be around 12 years old. As a whole, SCP-2422 behaves and interacts similarly to an average middle-class suburban family, with typical alternating congenial and tense internal dynamics observed. The members of 2422 claim to have been manufactured by an entity they call Wandering Father. X-rays and internal scans have revealed all 4 possess typical biological human anatomy, with no signs of any kind of manufacture. All 4 members of 2422 have exhibited unique anomalous properties, which manifest when human subjects establish direct eye contact. Each member's property is telepathic in nature. None of these properties allow any member of 2422 to affect any human through anomalous means, but only allow them to gain information about the human affected. These properties seem to be involuntary, though the members of 2422 have not shown any distress over them, nor given any indication that they consider the anomalies strange or concerning. Personnel requiring knowledge of the properties exhibited by each member of 2422 should refer to the property description below. All members of 2422 have passed standard initial humanoid psychological examinations and, with the exception of 2422-D, are considered to be capable of functioning autonomously in society. Routine psychological examinations and observations have shown that 2422-C has developed a mild case of depression. The extent of the members of SCP-2422's congeniality has been tested, including one trial involving 3 D-Class personnel insulting all members of 2422 continuously for a period of several hours. All members reacted in an unflinchingly amicable manner, although 2422-C has suggested this may have been feigned. SCP-2422-A has repeatedly apologized for any burden that 2422 has placed on the Foundation, and has offered to grill hot dogs for the entire staff should they request them. SCP-2422 Individual Property Descriptions. SCP-2422-A. When a human subject establishes direct contact with SCP-2422-A, it will gain understanding of the subject's intelligence level, whether or not it has spoken to or interacted with the subject at all. It rates the intelligence of subjects on a scale of 0 to 35, with the majority of tested subjects falling within 0.1 units of 22. When compared to a standardized IQ test, its ratings have proven to match proportionally. SCP-2422-B. When a human subject establishes direct eye contact with 2422-B, it will gain rudimentary knowledge of the subject's activities over the course of the previous 22 hours. Thus far, it has consistently been able to recite locations visited by subjects, reasons for visiting said locations, and reasons for exiting said locations. -C. When a human subject establishes direct eye contact with -C, it will exhibit extreme cases of empathy, immediately behaving as if it is experiencing an unusually intense version of the subject's current emotional state. If eye contact is maintained, it will begin to experience all emotions felt by the subject within the previous 22 hours in reverse order. The duration for which it feels each emotion seems to correlate with the strength with which the subject felt said emotion at the time. -C will revert to its original emotional state when eye contact is broken. -D. -D will only exhibit its anomalous property after having an extended conversation on a single topic with a human subject. If the human subject establishes direct eye contact with -D after having said conversation, -D will understand the subject's true opinion on the topic, though it is not always responsive. -D has shown a 100% accuracy rate when asked to explain the subject's true feelings. Due to its unwillingness or inability to communicate frequently, the fewest tests out of any member of SCP-2422 has been performed on -D. Acquisition Log. On 20, SCP-2422 approached Site-17 as a group. When the posted guard attempted to deter them, they referred to themselves by their current numerical designation and asked to be admitted to what they referred to as their home. Dr. was notified and performed an immediate interview and psychological examination on the group. SCP-2422-A claimed the group had been created by a person it called Wandering Father. Note: the Foundation currently has no records of a person or group with that name. At the time of writing, no searches attempted by the Foundation has confirmed Wandering Father's identity or existence. They claim to have no malicious intent, but repeatedly stated that they were created to exist within the walls of the Foundation facility if they were allowed. They expressed a desire not to burden the Foundation or wear out any welcome they may have had. During this initial interview, SCP-2422-A gave Dr. a sealed envelope addressed to the lucky recipient. The note inside has been designated Document 2422-I. Document 2422-I. Number 22. A friendly family. Congeniality breeds joy. The joyful text recommendation number 22. Dear Foundation, hello and good day. I have observed that you as a whole are severely lacking in joyful celebration. Your employees are deathly serious all the time. I find that very unfortunate. I have created this wonderful family for you, modeled after my joyful recommendation number 22. They should not be anything but kind and joyful. They come as a set. Please keep them together for the sake of my old heart. Theirs too, actually. If they spend too long apart, they'll go into cardiac arrest. I promise that little kink will be fixed in future creations. They have been created to find a specific Foundation site. The one I have judged is the most unjoyful. Please allow them inside. They will spread joy, love, and happiness. Please treat them well, and give them a house-sized space. If you keep them together in one room, they'll probably tear each other apart. It's another one of those bugs I haven't quite been able to work out. I know you can work around it. I hope this gift will alleviate your unfortunate unjoy. Yours, in joy and harmony, Wandering Father. Addendum. As of 11/20, all testing performed on SCP-2422-C and -D must be directly supervised by at least one senior researcher. Any unauthorized activity by any personnel involved in the testing is grounds for immediate reprimand and punishment. The following is an email sent by Dr. Lizzie Welsh to the current project director of SCP-2422.
Hey, Stan. It's great to hear your son's doing better. I understand it was pretty touch and go for a while. Just make sure he gets plenty of fluids, okay? Mira has promised to keep him in her prayers. Anyway, congratulations on your promotion. I can tell you this job isn't easy. SCP-2422 may not be the most difficult bunch to deal with, but some of them can be quite the handful some of the time. So guess what? As project director, you get brand new level 4 clearance. You know what that means. You have a lot of reading to do, mister. As you know, we do a lot of interviews with the members of 2422. I'm not going to make you read all of them. Most of them are really boring anyway.
I'm just going to attach a couple of transcripts we've deemed important to read to have a complete understanding of how these people work. You'll recognize the second one. An edited version is attached to the standard article concerning 2422. This one, though, is complete. All the expunged data is there. There's a lot of it, too. Since I'm technically not the project director anymore, there are a couple things that have been blacked out in my copies of the files. Just a couple of names, not super important stuff. If you really need to know those names, you can look in your own copies when you get back to work. For now, the names don't appear close enough to each other to be confusing. You're smart. You'll be fine. All the files are compressed and attached below. Happy reading and good luck in your new job. Sincerely, Lizzie, former SCP-2422 Project Director. Secure, contain, protect. Interview Log 1. Interviewed, SCP-2422-A. Interviewer, Dr. Welsh. Forward. The following interview occurred as part of the routine psychological evaluations administered regularly to all members of SCP-2422. SCP-2422-A does not typically exhibit any strong emotion. Begin log. Hello, SCP-2422-A.
Hello, ma'am. How are you today?
I am doing well, 2422-A. How are you?
Can't complain.
That's good to hear. How are you liking the facility?
Oh, ma'am, it's wonderful. It's where I and my family are meant to be, you know.
I do.
I'm so glad you allowed us to stay here. You have provided for us and allowed us to provide.
We're happy to have you.
My purpose in life is to please the people around me. Me and the rest of my family. It's what we do. I'm so glad we've made you happy. You let us fulfill our life, and I'm so grateful.
Tissue?
I'm sorry. I'm not usually this emotional.
Don't worry about it. You're fine.
Wandering Father gave us a purpose, but you've given us a way to fulfill it. We are forever in your debt. You allow us to provide.
You are very welcome. I'm glad you're happy.
My family's my responsibility, you know. I have to protect them. And now here you are, protecting all of us. It's a real weight off my chest.
We're happy to help. If you don't mind my asking, what exactly would you need protection from?
Doctor, you of all people should know the world is a very dangerous place. You're an intelligent person. Very intelligent, actually. You know more and more nasty, inexplicable things pop up every day. Until we came here, it was my responsibility to provide a shelter for my family against those things. You, the Foundation, are our shelter. You provide for us.
Oh. Okay, well, we're happy to have you.
You fulfill our purpose. You allow us to provide. Thank you.
End log. Closing statement. The word provide seems to have taken on a significant meaning for SCP-2422-A. Personnel are to record any use of that word by it in casual conversation. Interview number 2. Interviewed, SCP-2422-C. Interviewer, Dr. Welsh. Forward. The following interview was conducted on 11/20, following reports by personnel that SCP-2422-C had been showing signs of depression and had become more brisk with personnel than its family members. There was an additional report made that it had attacked a researcher as he attempted to conduct tests on it, attempting to gouge his eyes out with its fingernails. The purpose of this interview was to determine whether SCP-2422-C needed to take regular antidepressants in order to maintain normal interaction with its family. Begin log. Hello, SCP-2422-C. Hi. How are you? I don't know. Fine. You don't know? No, I'm fine. We've been receiving reports that you've been rather rude to some personnel. Well, they're rude to me. I'm sure they were just following procedure. The people who work with you receive orders from someone called a project director and— I know what a project director is. I'm not stupid. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to imply you were. Yes, you did, and you don't feel ashamed. You're irritated. You don't know that. Yes, I do. I can feel it. You're a practiced liar, I can tell, because you make eye contact when you do it. You can't hide from me. Anyway, the reason for this interview is he made me uncomfortable. I'm sorry? The person who you said I was rude to, he made me uncomfortable. What do you mean? I don't want to talk about it. If you were treated badly, it could be grounds for an investigation. It's against protocol to cause anomalous objects undue distress. He tried to touch me.
Do you mean?
He said it was to take fluid samples from my...
Honey, I'm sorry.
I read a book before we came here. I don't know who taught me how to read. I was never really a child, you know. I just I don't know how I was made. But anyway, it was this book about a girl who's going to commit suicide. So she travels far away from her home so the loss will be clean for her family. And there's this boy who loves her, like, really, really loves her. And he, like, skips his high school graduation and drives across the country to go save her. Then, at the end, it turns out she wasn't trying to commit suicide at all. She was just leaving. She wanted to be free. It was a really good book.
I'm not sure I understand the connection to your situation.
I want someone to care about me that much. I was created to cause other people joy, but I don't know what joy feels like. I want to be free, but I can't. I sound like a fucking cliché, but I can't be free.
That's why we're here. We find the Foundation works much better when all humanoids in our custody who we can allow to be are happy.
I am not humanoid. I am human. And you can go fuck yourself, Doctor. I am not an object. And you know what? I will not stand for being treated like one. The next time someone calls me a humanoid, I swear I'll slit my fucking wrists. Don't doubt me on that. I was not born, and I've never lived. I've never talked to other teenagers, never eaten a hamburger. Hell, I've never actually had sex. I don't deserve those things any less than you do, Dr. Whatever, so stop being so condescending to me. I'm lonely, and I'm going to continue being lonely. I've accepted that. I know you won't let me leave, but you might as well treat me with some common decency. All right?
I'm sorry.
Glad to know you're telling the truth. I'm leaving. End log. Closing statement. Dr. Welsh has recommended that SCP-2422-C be administered standard-strength antidepressants regularly, beginning as soon as possible. Interview number 3. Interviewed. SCP-2422-C. Interviewer. Dr. Welsh. Forward. Dr. Welsh made a request to have an interview with SCP-2422-C to ensure the amended containment procedures of 11-20, including the administration of antidepressants to SCP-2422-C without its knowledge, was effective, but the interview conducted produced no pertinent information. However, SCP-2422-C subsequently requested regular meetings with Dr. Welsh as a sort of therapy. These sessions are recorded for the purposes of record-keeping. They almost universally contain no information of interest. On 3/20, however, SCP-2422-C revealed new information concerning the nature of SCP-2422. Begin log.
Hello, SCP-2422-C. How have you been this week?
Okay, I guess. How have you been?
I've been just fine. Thank you for asking.
Hey, how many other people are here?
I beg your pardon?
Oh, as I was being escorted here today, I passed this boy coming the other way. He looked like he was talking to someone walking beside him, but no one was there. Is he anomalous too? I knew there were lots of things contained here, but I didn't realize there were other people. Am I allowed to see them?
Your current containment procedures don't allow for any interaction with other humanoids. That's not typically allowed as a rule.
Damn. Okay.
I could try to get an order to allow you to talk to some if you want. The one you're talking about is SCP-2240-1, and he's actually a very sweet young man. I could probably arrange some time for you two to hang out.
Could you? That'd be really sweet. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Have you been eating more?
A little, yeah. I still don't have much of an appetite.
I see. Well, that happens sometimes with teenagers.
Really? I thought teenagers are supposed to be hungry, like, all the time.
I am certainly glad you've been feeling better. Do you have any idea why—
No, you're not.
I'm sorry?
Why are you so nervous?
Crap.
If you're going to lie to me, don't look me in the eyes. I know you have Mom put stuff in my food, so chill out.
They're standard commercial antidepressants. They're for your own good.
Just like everything else here, right?
What do you mean?
Sorry, that was mean. My mood hasn't been getting better.
Appetite suppression is a side effect of those particular meds. I should have realized that putting them in your food wouldn't be productive.
Wow, that's kind of a royal fuck-up. I would probably just be glad it didn't happen with one of the other things in here.
Yeah, I guess so.
'Cause man, some of those things are friggin' scary.
Do they bother you?
Sometimes. They bother all of us sometimes.
Really? Why haven't you mentioned it before? We could have soundproofed your cells, or...
We aim to please, remember? Most people aren't pleased when they're given extra work to do.
If you're unhappy, we can do something about it.
We want to leave. To get away. That would make us happy.
The note SCP-2422-A gave us said that you couldn't be separated, and it's our responsibility to keep you here.
We all hate this place.
Well, your family certainly seems satisfied with their lifestyle.
Do you really think that?
Well, they haven't given us any indication otherwise.
We're programmed not to.
By Wandering Father?
Yes, by him.
Then why are you so unhappy? Aren't you fulfilling your purpose?
None of us asked for this. We were made to make people happy, but none of us want to, really. Wandering Father gave us a purpose, and then he gave us about 3/4 of a free will. We feel compelled to make others happy, but we don't enjoy it.
But why don't you enjoy making others happy? Do you not enjoy being kind?
Not when we have no choice. Look, you have to see what we do when no one's around. I know you have cameras in our rooms.
We haven't noticed anything unusual.
You haven't seen my parents after they go to bed?
They have a habit of concealing themselves entirely by their covers. We've figured it's best to allow them a small measure of privacy.
Oh my god, you think they're having sex?
Well, we assumed.
I guarantee you, neither of them have had sex in their lives. They hide themselves because they don't want you to see them crying.
You mean they?
They don't like it any more than I do. They just care more about hiding it.
2422-C,
You're sorry. I know. Frankly, it's not good enough.
Is there anything I can say?
Not really. You know, I would have slit my wrists already if I didn't know it would cause you mountains of grief.
You're really suicidal?
Wouldn't you be?
I'm going to get you different antidepressants as soon as this session is over. Ones without appetite suppression.
They won't help.
Depression is caused by a chemical imbalance in the brain, one which antidepressants are made to fix.
Just like I'm made to fix unjoy, right? It's not the chemicals that cause it, it's the situation. This entire fucking place causes it. Hell, it's my existence that causes it. Dad says I should be grateful I didn't turn out like the others, but sometimes I wish I did. The others were euthanized.
Others? What others?
Wandering Father's failed projects. Some of them were pretty horrific.
What were they like?
Sorry, I'm not at liberty to say. You should ask my brother. He has a little bit less of a filter.
You're not at liberty to say?
It's not in my programming. Hey, I'm tired and really angry at you, and I can tell you're upset. Let's end this session before I make you depressed too. Okay?
Fine.
End log. Closing statement. Following this interview, Dr. Welsh went on a 2-week leave for mental health purposes. The decision whether or not to allow SCP-2422-C and SCP-2240-1 to come into contact is still pending. Interview number 4. Interviewed. SCP-2422-B. Interviewer. Dr. Cardinal. Forward. The following transcript is of a routine interview with SCP-2422-B to ensure its mental health was in stable condition. This is the only recorded case of SCP-2422-B articulating significant distress while under the supervision of the Foundation. Begin log.
Good afternoon, 2422-B.
Good afternoon, Doctor. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
I can't complain.
I see. Have you been getting all the food you've requested?
We have what we need.
If you'd like more, it could certainly be arranged.
Please, Doctor, we don't want to bother the Foundation.
Seriously, if you want more, just ask. It's no trouble at all.
We have what we need. You don't need to worry. You provide more for us than we could have ever hoped.
How has your family been doing?
We're content. We love the facility. D's been really happy recently. He's focusing on biology this month in school, and he's reading about snakes right now. He loves every second of it. Thank you for the textbooks, by the way.
Of course. Everyone deserves a good education.
That they do. We're so glad you've been able to provide that.
It couldn't happen without you. You are a fantastic mother to those children.
Thank you, Doctor. That means a lot.
Tissue?
No, thank you. I don't want to waste your resources.
It's not a waste. We're here to provide for you, remember? Go ahead.
No, thank you. Really, I'm fine. You don't need to help me.
2422B, can I ask you a question?
Of course, Doctor. That's why you bring me to these meetings every week, isn't it? To ask me questions?
Oh, I suppose so.
Well, go on then.
2422B, how do you really feel?
I'm sorry?
The reason I asked about the food is because I noticed you haven't been eating. You refuse help when it's offered and feel our resources are wasted on you. Those behaviors are all textbook warning signs of depression.
What?
Your daughter has already been diagnosed with clinical depression. While the disease is not genetic, certain studies have shown that people can be genetically predisposed to be at higher risk. So, I would like to make sure you're alright.
No, I'm fine. I just want to make people happy.
Alright then. You know what would make me happy? If you told me the truth about how you feel and why. It doesn't have to leave this room if you don't want it to. But I need to know. Please, could you do that for me?
SCP-2422-B does not speak for 46 seconds. I've been having dreams for a while now. Dreams about being cut open, having my guts rearranged, put in all the wrong places, then being sewn up and forced to go on with my life. I feel like a shell. I feel like I'm the only one who wants to see any good in the world.
I don't understand what you mean.
My daughter hates the world and everything in it, including me. We used to be so close, and now she won't talk to me at all. She's sad all the time, and the medicine you give her doesn't help.
We are trying new medication.
And then my son, my beautiful baby boy, is retarded. Sorry, you don't like that word.
My nephew's autistic too. I know it's hard.
But he had so much potential. He could have changed the world. I know he could have. He was so intelligent when he was younger, and now he's almost 13, and he sits on the floor all day reading books designed for 8-year-olds, full of cutesy rhymes and explaining that snakes have bones just like other reptiles. And then my husband!
What did your husband do?
My husband is trying to sleep with one of your researchers.
What?
Last week, when I got back from this meeting, he met me by the door and he kissed me like he always does. He asked me how it went, and I looked in his eyes, and I saw it all. That boy came by to deliver C's medication, and he flirted with my husband like he always does. You know, I always thought if the boy was gay, that was his business, and if flirting made him happy, he could flirt. But he delivered my daughter's medication while I was here talking to you, and this time, when he flirted, my husband kissed him.
Kissed 2422A.
No, my husband kissed him. And just like that, I was alone. I thought of all people, my husband would put my happiness above everyone else's, but I was wrong. I thought we had a good thing going. We might have built something like a life in here. I should have realized it couldn't work. If he's trying to make that boy happy, then I'm proud of him. I just wish sometimes I could feel happy too.
2422B, if what you say is true, should get reprimanded for this. No matter the circumstances, his actions are considered sexual assault.
Please don't fire him. He's a good kid. He just wants to be happy.
Why didn't we see this happen on the cameras?
We found the places your cameras don't see. There are blind spots everywhere. You're not as airtight as you think.
I'll make sure this gets fixed immediately.
Don't bother. It's a band-aid solution.
It's a fixing of a serious security hazard.
Jesus, you still think we're dangerous? Haven't we proven enough to you? Our purpose is to make the world a happier place. If we break out, the entire Foundation will be unhappy. We'll fail.
I'm just following protocol.
Protocol. Right.
I'll speak with 2422A, and then see if I can get you some antidepressants, too.
Don't bother. They won't work for me any more than they work for my daughter. This is an awful place. It's cold, and it's septic, and it's full of horrible things. I wish I had never met Wandering Father.
What do you mean?
I'm sorry?
What do you mean by met Wandering Father?
I didn't say that. You must have misheard me. Don't worry, Doctor. It happens to the best of us. I'd best be getting home. My husband will be wondering where I am. It was nice talking to you, Doctor. I'm glad we have these meetings. You have a good day, okay? End log. Closing statement. Dr. Cardinal's request to have antidepressants administered to SCP-2422-B is pending approval. Additional security cameras are in the process of being installed in SCP-2422's cells. Has been reprimanded for his actions and moved to a different project. Interview number 5. Interviewed. SCP-2422-A. Interviewer. Dr. Cardinal. Forward. Following SCP-2422-B's claims of SCP-2422-A's possible infidelity, considering the fundamental conflict these actions brought up with SCP-2422's purpose, Dr. Cardinal requested an interview with SCP-2422-A to attempt to understand the situation. Begin log.
Hello, 2422A.
Hello, Doctor. How can I help you?
I just need to give you a quick survey to make sure everything's fine with you and your family's containment. I have all the questions on this paper here.
All right. Go ahead.
All right. First question. How have things been with your marriage?
Not even going to give me a freebie easy one, eh?
Answer the question, 2422A.
All right. Things have been going great. B seems happy. We've been making the researchers more joyful than ever recently.
So I hear.
I'm sorry?
Nothing. All right. Next question. Do you feel safe in containment?
Of course I do. Why wouldn't I? This is where I'm meant to be.
None of the people who've worked with you have made you feel uncomfortable. You haven't noticed anyone who seems predatory?
If this is about the prick who touched my daughter, you told me
He has been dealt with. I'm talking about you. No one's made any inappropriate advances?
No, sir.
Wonderful. Next question. What is your relationship with...
He delivers my daughter's medicine.
And that's all?
What is this?
It's just a question, 2422A. Is bringing your daughter's medicine all he does for you?
Yes, that's all.
2422A. I would be much happier if you didn't lie to me.
I didn't.
Your wife told me herself.
What are you accusing me of?
I'm not accusing you of anything. Tell me what you're hiding.
I thought it would make him happy.
I see. And what about your wife? Did you consider her feelings?
Look, I love my wife. She knows that.
Are you sure? You haven't been showing her lately.
Well, I didn't expect her to find out about... Yeah, him.
I don't buy that.
What?
You knew full well what she could do. There was no way you thought you could hide it.
Well, he needed...
You didn't care about him. You didn't even remember his name.
Why are you so invested in this?
Because you forced me to report my boyfriend to our superiors for sexual assault on a humanoid. So, 2422A, what game are you playing? I know now you're willing to cause pain and suffering. So why have you been so careful about your lie? You don't need to cause joy. So why do you?
I want to be happy.
You and the rest of the world. How can you be so willing to cause others pain?
Haven't I suffered enough?
Don't start with the melodrama, A. Whoever this wandering father is...
He's dangerous. Don't talk about him. Don't say his name. He'll hear you.
Shut your fucking trap.
I'm sorry.
Good.
I do love B. You have to believe me.
No, I don't. Others will. You're manipulative. You can make them. But I'll know.
Okay, fine. But please, don't mess with Wandering Father. He's dangerous.
I don't suppose you'll tell me why?
No. He'll hear. He'll cut me open. He'll blow my brains out. He'll kill me.
Right. You're insane.
No. You don't know him.
I'll get you some medication, too. I think we're done here.
End log. Closing statement. Dr. Cardinal has gone on leave indefinitely. His request to instigate stricter security measures for SCP-2422 is pending approval. Interview number 6. Interviewed. SCP-2422-D. Interviewer, Dr. Forward. Dr. suggested that SCP-2422-D might be the most willing to share what information it could about Wandering Father out of the members of SCP-2422 due to its seemingly limited self-awareness. Dr. carried the interview out himself, with the supervision of an on-staff behavioral therapist. Begin log.
Good morning, 2422D.
What's that?
I'm sorry.
What's that on your coat?
That's the Foundation logo.
Oh,
So, 2422D.
that's me.
Yes, well, we were wondering if you could tell us about Wandering Father.
Why?
Well, because it's important we know more about him.
I've been reading about snakes.
D?
Did you know that serpents don't have hands?
I'm sorry.
They don't. It says so in my textbook.
Okay. Good to know. About Wandering Father.
He made me.
Yes, we know that. Can you tell us who he is? What he wants? Maybe where he lives?
He is beautiful.
What does he look like?
He is unknowable.
2422D, I need you to be straight with me.
He is eternal.
Answer my question, who is Wandering Father?
Shut up.
Excuse me?
Do not presume to give me orders. I am a soldier of God.
Alright, I think you need to.
Sit down.
What the fuck?
You believe you are the high and mighty because you imprison that which you deem unclean? Because you charge into any situation when you see possible gain? Because you have hostage the sons of Adam side by side with the spawn of Satan?
How do you know about...
You believe you are capable of understanding God?
That's not what...
Oh, but it is. And you do. You don't believe in God.
Shut up. I'm taking you back to containment.
Do not tell me what to do. God shall strike you down, you and all the other sinners. He shall release his creations upon the earth, and I will be by his side, laughing as you feel the flames.
Okay, that's enough.
I said sit down.
Ah! Stop it!
You are not God. You are a pathetic, whiny bitch trying to make your way in a world that is no place for you. I ought to kill you here. I'm sure it would make my charges safer if you...
Holy fuck! Get him out of here!
End log. Closing statement. SCP-2422 was placed under increased security for several months. Such measures were deemed unnecessary as SCP-2422-D seemed unlikely to repeat its outburst without provocation. The behavioral therapist who summoned the guards was given a commendation before being administered a Class C amnestic. Interview number 7. Interviewed. SCP-2422-C. Interviewer. Dr. Welsh. Forward. Following SCP-2422-D's outburst, it was deemed important to understand SCP-2422's origins and true purpose. Given her positive relationship with SCP-2422-C, Dr. Welsh volunteered to perform the interview herself. Begin log.
Hello, -C.
Hi, Doctor. What's up?
Listen, we need to know about Wandering Father.
Is this about what Dee did last week? Listen, you know he's not usually like that.
This isn't about that. That incident just served as a reminder of how unpredictable and dangerous you four are, and how little we know about this man.
You think we're dangerous?
I do. And from now on, I'm going to be completely honest with you. Can you do the same for me?
I'll do my best.
Okay. Who is Wandering Father?
I don't know.
That's all right. Where does Wandering Father live?
I don't know.
What does Wandering Father look like?
I don't know.
See.
Who else is watching?
Nobody can see us in here.
Bullshit, that wall's one-way glass.
The room next door is electronically locked. Nobody's inside. It's just us.
Okay. I'm going to tell you a story.
Okay. I'm listening.
You can't share it with anyone. Do you promise?
I promise.
Once upon a time, there is a girl named Misty. She lives in Toronto, and she loves to live. She has lots of friends, loving parents, and a good home. She is 16 and has never been pregnant. She's only ever done pot once, and that was an accident. She loves chocolate chip cookies and Once Upon a Time, and she has 14,000 followers on Twitter, and life is great. Do you understand?
I do.
Okay, so one day she meets this boy named Abe, but really, he's a man. He's 20, and he has a cool car, and a nice chest, and a fuck ton of charm. He flirts with her hard and often. He will not leave her alone until she is his girlfriend. Being the poor, naive creature that she is, Misty ends up dating him. Christ, she came pretty close to putting out for him. Pretty predictable, I suppose. Anyway, one day he asks her to come down to his basement. He says he wants to show her a science project. She agrees, and the next thing she knows, she's tied to a pole in a dark room. It's cold, and she's thirsty, and something smells rotten. She later finds out that, as she went down the stairs, he hit her on the back of the head with a ceramic plate.
Oh my god.
When she wakes up, she calls out to the darkness and finds that she's not alone. There are 4 other people down there with her. 2 men, 1 woman, and a boy. They are all also tied up and have been down there for different lengths of time. They hear someone walking upstairs and everyone goes quiet. Then Abe comes downstairs and turns on the light. The room looks like a normal rec room. The prisoners don't seem to be organized at all. They're just tied to things that don't move. No planning seems to be involved. Abe approaches Misty, and she sees a glint in his eyes that was never there before. She's terrified. Abe tells her that everything is assembled and his project is about to begin. Her first thought is that he's trying to make a porno. She's so innocent. Then Abe unties the first of the men. His name is Jeff, and leads him into another room. Jeff makes eye contact with the second man, Dave, as he passes. He says something that Misty can't make out. Looking back on it, she realizes it was probably, "I love you."
Are you okay? Do you need to take a break?
No, I'm fine. If I wait, I won't be able to do this. Abe leads Jeff into another room and shuts a thick door behind him. The remaining 4 wait in silence, straining to hear anything they can. After about 7 minutes, there's the sound of a scuffle. And then a gunshot.
Jesus Christ.
Dave screams. The boy, his name is Zane. He starts crying, and Abe just opens the door and walks back into the room, still holding the gun. And he looks at Misty, and he says, really calmly, "That trial failed." Then he unties Misty and begins to lead her into the room, and Misty resists at first, but he puts a gun to her head so she cooperates. He sits her down and says, "Let's try this again." Then he pulls out a pocket watch and begins to swing it in front of her face, explaining to her how sleepy she's getting. Misty has seen the blood on the wall beside her and decides to play along. She fakes every reaction the way she thinks he wants. After he thinks she's under his spell, he tells her that Misty is no more, and that when she wakes up, she won't remember anything about her old life. Then he begins to explain to her what her new life mission is: to bring people joy. He says when she wakes up, her only thought will be how to bring joy to people, only stopping short of sexual favors. This, he says, is a restriction he is placing only on her, because he genuinely likes her. He tells her he will give her special powers through an injection, powers that will help her know when she is fulfilling her purpose. He says he stole the formula from the master database of a worldwide anomalous power. Do you know anything about this?
He wouldn't have been talking about the Foundation, but I know of several other organizations he could be referencing.
Christ, there are more organizations? Well, that part doesn't really matter. After he establishes his hypnosis and establishes what he calls a trigger word, he says if he speaks it, she'll fall back into a trance immediately, then selects the word phallic. He injects her with something and tells her to wake up. Slowly, ever so slowly, she opens her eyes, silently counts to 3, then smiles very wide. "Hello, sir," she says. "How are you today?" He says, "I'm fucking fantastic, SCP-2422-C. Why don't we introduce you to the others?" Misty says, "I love meeting new people." He takes her out into the room and introduces her to the others as that thing He called her before, SCP-2422-C. Misty stays in character as best as she can the whole time as he tells them what a success she is, and they pepper her with questions, trying to get her to remember them, trying to get her to see. What's worse, every time she looks into one of their faces, she feels an additional wave of confusion and despair washing over her. The emotions feel alien and foreign, completely different from her own experiences with them. They invade her mind without warning and trickle out slowly, fling the residue all over the walls of her brain and leave a bitter taste in her mouth. And she has to keep smiling and tittering at everything. Eventually he ties her back up. He says one miracle is enough for that day, and that he is exhausted. He says he'll deal with the next two the next day. She keeps that smile plastered on her face until the lights shut off, and she hears him close the door at the top of the stairs. Then she starts to weep. She tells her fellow prisoners everything as quickly and quietly as possible. She tells them what they have to do to survive. Dave doesn't stop crying the entire night. None of them sleep. By the morning, she can hear flies buzzing in the next room. They hear him going about his day for most of the morning. Then there comes a knock on the door. The voice is female. She comes inside and makes her way to the couch. He seems to bring her something from the kitchen. None of the prisoners can make out what they're saying. They stop talking for a while. Then she leaves. Abe comes down the stairs. Misty greets him and asks him how his day is going. He tells her it's the best day of his life. He's met his true love. Despite everything, Misty finds this like having a sack of bricks dropped directly onto her stomach. She keeps her smile, though. Her smile is impenetrable. He takes the woman, her name is Cassandra, into a smaller room. She looks at Misty as she passes. Misty keeps the smile, but wishes Cassandra good luck with her eyes. The 3 remaining prisoners wait, tense, for about 2 hours, but no gunshots ring. Abe returns with a very cheerful Cassandra and introduces her as SCP-2422-B. He ties her back up, then takes Dave into the room. Cassandra's smile falls from her face as soon as he turns around. She does not cry. Zane does. Misty does too.
Misty,
The prisoners hear Dave weeping again. He must be seeing the corpse of his boyfriend. The other 3 tense, but he doesn't die. A nuclear family needs a father. He's in the room for 2.5 hours. When he returns, he's positively bouncing. Abe ties him up and says he'll finish with Zane the next day. After he leaves, Cassandra calls him a psycho fuckwad. Dave suggests his philosophy might not be that bad. At first, Misty doesn't understand what happened, but she quickly realizes. Abe had more practice when he worked on Dave. His work clearly isn't perfect, but he doesn't seem to have failed entirely like he did with her and Cassandra. That makes her even more scared than she already was. Abe is not just a man raving in a basement. There might be some sadistic hypnotists out there. Maybe even talented ones. No one's safe.
If it's any comfort, there are no others on our radar.
It's not. The next day, the girl comes over again. Their discussion gets more heated. He shouts, she shouts, glass breaks, she leaves. He comes stomping down the basement stairs very early. It must be before noon. He stands, seething at the bottom of the stairs. Then he shouts at the top of his voice, "I was going to fuck her." Then he unties the kid, Zane, and practically drags him into the next room.
Dear Lord.
The 2 are in that room for hours. Abe shouts and raves. Several times we hear him slap Zane. The gun goes off twice, but still he continues. He drags the boy out, battered and bruised, and tells them that his new name is SCP-2422-D, and he will act as police officer. If any of us ever cause unjoy, we will answer to him. He shows us the inside of Zane's left arm, practically holds it to each of our noses. It's riddled with puncture wounds that look like bug bites. Some of them are kind of swollen. One is a little green. He says he emptied his stash on the kid. Even he doesn't know the full extent of his powers. He says he knows it won't mean anything to us. We don't remember our conditioning at all. But he wants to give us a fair warning. Then he ties Zane up and leaves.
Are those 2422-D's scars?
Yes. After he left, we asked Zane if he was okay, but he didn't respond. We asked him more and more different questions, but he didn't say anything. Zane was gone. Abe had succeeded on one of us. That night I actually fell asleep. When I woke up, we were on the side of the road with 2 envelopes, one addressed to us and one addressed to the Foundation. The one addressed to us gave us directions here, to Site 17. We began walking.
And you made it here?
There's more. Dee always fell asleep first. We all walked all day, but he was still 12, you know? So after he went to bed the first night, we all agreed to fake like Abe's hypnosis had worked on us too, because we didn't know what Dee was capable of. After that, we worked on figuring out what our new powers were. Those we had. He hadn't had to hypnotize us to give them to us. He injected us with something. None of us liked it. All of us were upset and disturbed. None of us could talk about it. We hoped something might change once we reached this mysterious foundation. We hoped that at the very least he would kill us. But hey, look where we are now. All doped up and ready to go. We never talk about Wandering Father or our emotions because Dee can't tell us how we feel about anything unless we talk about it. So we don't. I'm sure you've seen his wrath on the cameras.
He makes them cut out sometimes. Only for a few seconds, though.
That's all the time he needs. He's not autistic. He's still in shock. He just follows his programming to the letter.
Are you certain?
Yes. I promise. Well, I guess I can't talk it all around him now. I've told you my whole story, so anything I say will make me think of this. Then I'll hurt us all.
We have amnestics I can offer you to help forget this interview.
No. I need to remember that someone knows. I need to remember that there is hope. Misty is not dead. Neither is Cassandra, neither is Dave. We are prisoners of the Wandering Father and of SCP-2422-D to this day. But now, someone can free us. Somebody knows.
Is there any more to your story?
Nothing important.
Okay. Is it alright if I send you back to containment now?
Oh my god, I've upset you really bad. I'm so sorry.
No, don't be. Don't you dare feel sorry for sharing your pain. Ever. Do you understand me?
Yes.
Good. I'll see you on Thursday, right?
I'll see you then.
Goodbye, Misty.
End log. Notes.
Hey, Stan. Sorry to dump all that on you like that. My guess is you'll understand why I did it. I need you to understand, not just to know. My words can't do what theirs can. Now you understand why SCP-2422 is so difficult and taxing to deal with. All of it. But there are a few things you should know. We are the only 2 who know this information. I conducted the majority of the interviews myself. Dr. Cardinal was killed in a car crash last year, as you know, and Dr. willingly took amnestics after his interview with 2422D. Everyone else operates under the assumption that 2422 live only to make people happy. 2. SCP-2422-B made a confession similar to C's very soon after. Almost all the details matched up, so I didn't include it. She, however, claims that Dave died in that basement and Jeff is the one we currently call SCP-2422-A. 3. All 4 members of SCP-2422 have scars on their inner right arm, similar to D's. Take that information and its implications as you will. Please don't disseminate this information at all. I've chosen you because I can trust you. That's why I'm being so casual about this. That's why I sent this to this account, not your work one. We don't know what 2422-D is capable of doing to its family members or to personnel. Not that we can't handle it, but we don't know if it's worth the trouble. Treat them like people, okay? I've pushed for their humanity to be recognized for years, and I'm passing the responsibility of that maintenance onto you. Hold it carefully. I'll still be working under you in the project. If you need any help, just ask. You the man. Sincerely, Lizzie Welsh, former SCP-2422 Project Director. Secure, contain, protect.
Of course, I have disseminated all of this information to you junior researchers, as it will help you better understand SCP-2422 as well, as you will most likely be coming into contact with them. Remember, it is our duty above all else to protect normalcy and to contain anomalies. Be safe. I am Dr. Jem, signing out. Secure, contain, protect.